So welcome to my channel Rekha Datta English Classes. As you know dear that I have my own YouTube channel and where I'm teaching grammar. So mine is a grammar channel, but I have started teaching and giving tips on spoken English too. If you go to my playlist, you will find that there's a separate playlist for spoken English. If you click on that playlist, you get to know a lot of things about spoken English, how you can adopt those strategies or methods to speak better English and to get the hang of the language. At the same time, I also tell everybody and whoever asks me this question that is grammar essential for speaking good English? I always say yes, because when you get the knowledge of grammar, you better understand this language. And once you understand the language, you develop confidence, which is very essential for speaking English. Okay, so today I'm going to focus on tenses. Particularly, I'm going to take one tense, that is present indefinite tense or simple present, about which I'm going to talk to you. But let me tell you one thing, how tenses are important for speaking English. You know, clear understanding of the tenses are very much needed for speaking good English, because tense always tells us the time of the action. When the action occurred, it always tells us the time of the action. You know, sometimes when we talk about present things, so if I say that I am eating my food, or I am playing cricket, or I am dancing, whatever I'm saying, I'm talking about the present thing. But if I talk about the past things, you know, I used to go to watch the movies when I was a child. So I'm talking about the past time, you know. You know, when an action occurred, it helps the listener to understand the timeline of the event. If I talk about the present time, so I will say I am doing my project, or I do my project, or I have done my project. If I talk about the past time, so I will say I completed my project, I was completing my project, I had completed my project. Same way, if I talk about future, so I can say that I will complete the project, I will be completing the project. So in this way, you know, tenses really helps you to understand the time of the action when it took place. So in today's video, I am going to talk about simple present or present indefinite tense. And we'll see that how present indefinite tense helps you to understand, or helps us to understand the language in a better way, and what are the main aspects of this tense, you know. So I'll tell you the construction of present simple or simple present tense later on. First, let me tell you that how it helps you to understand the language. I'm talking about simple present or present indefinite tense. Okay, then I'll tell you the construction and we'll come up with lots of other things. Please stay tuned to my video. Okay, so before I start my video, let me tell you the construction of simple present or present indefinite. Later on, I'll write on the board too. First, let me tell you the construction of simple present or present indefinite is, you know, it is, we use I, we, you, they. As you know, these are pronoun I, we, you, they, and all plural. Okay, so the construction, it goes like this: I, we, you, they, all plural, first form of the verb. I, we, you, they, all plural, and along with it we are using first form of the verb, or the base form of the verb, you can say. For example, I go, I play, you play, they dance, we talk. Okay, now next is he, she, it, and with all singular, you know, pronoun or noun, we add s and es to the base form of the verb. Let me tell you again. First, I, we, you, they, first form of the verb or the base form of the verb. I, we, you, they, all plural, first form of the verb or base form of the verb. He, she, it, all singular, add s and es to the base form of the verb. And for negative sentences we use do not and does not. For I, we, you, they, all plural, we use do not, and for he, she, it, all singular, we use does not. Okay, so this is the sentence construction. I'll write on the board later on after, talking about the advantages of this tense, and then you'll understand in a better way. Okay, so let me tell you one thing, that this tense is fundamental in speaking English. It's very, very important when you are learning to speak in English. First thing, it tells about our daily routine or our habits. If you want to talk about your daily routine, your daily habits, or usually what you do in your daily life, you will always use this tense. So you can talk about your daily routine or daily life like this. I go to school. I'm talking very simple sentences, so that you can understand it in a very nice way. Okay, so I go to school early in the morning, or you can start with I get up early in the morning, then I go for a walk. Just see, try to notice what I'm saying. I'm always using first form of the verb with I. So I wake up early in the morning, I go for a walk, I take my breakfast at 7:30, I go to school, I come back from there, I go for tuition, I play in the evening, I take rest. So, it always tells about our daily routine, what we do usually, every day. So, this tense helps you to understand better when you're talking about your daily routine, you're talking about your daily habits. This tense also helps you to understand the general truth or state facts. So when something is universal truth or universal fact or some state facts, so you can describe the whole thing or whole situation in simple present or present indefinite. So you can say the water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, or you can say the earth orbits the sun, or you can say the dog the dog barks at the strangers, or the cat chases the mice. So here what you see that you are talking about the general facts, you are stating the facts, you are talking about the universal facts. The sun rises from the east, the moon shines at night. So these are the different ways of saying things when you're talking about stating about the facts of the universe, or some habitual action. As I told you, the dog barks at the strangers. So this tense really helps you to know the things. This tense really helps you to understand how you're going to talk about your general things. As I told you, you can talk about your regular routine, your regular days, your habits, what you do when you get up early in the morning, and at last when you go to sleep. You can describe all your routine day, usually every day. Then you talk about the states, the facts. Let's see what else it do. Simple present is often used for giving instructions also. As you know, in imperative sentences we usually use this tense. Imperative sentences, when you hide the subject, there's no subject, when you are giving instruction to somebody or you are advising somebody to do something, you can use this tense. Or like you can say stir the vegetable. Stir the vegetable. Suppose that you are cooking vegetable and you are instructing someone, maybe your son, your daughter, to stir the vegetable while you're busy doing something else. And you can say that mix the egg and what you call. So suppose you are making cake, so you are instructing your son or your daughter, mix the cake and flour properly. Or you can talk about the room, open the door. So these kind of sentences can also be used in present indefinite tense, or simple present tense when you are giving instruction to somebody or telling somebody to do something. By using this tense, you can talk about your feelings, your opinions, your decisions, or your views about something. So you can talk about the present government. I think this government is right, I think this government is doing well. Or you can say, I do not agree with the coming government's policy, I do not agree with this policy of the government. Or if you are giving your views or opinion about something, you can say that this idea is not acceptable, I don't like this idea. So you can give your feelings, your ideas, your views on something, that I do not agree on this point, I have my own opinion to express. So anything, so this simple present tense, it really helps you to come up with your ideas if you are having some, and to present your opinion about something, to give your own notion, your own views, your own proposal on something too. I think you should adopt this view. I think you should accept this proposal, it's really going to be good for you. So in this way we can express our feelings, our views, our proposals, our ideas about something too. So guys, if you master this tense, you can do a lot of things, multiple things, like you can talk about your opinion, you can talk about your daily life, you can describe something, you can narrate some story, you can come up with your own feelings, your views, you can talk about the state things, you can talk about the universal facts. So everything you can do it once you master these tenses. So I've also told in my earlier videos that if you want to repeat something, if you want this method of shadowing, you know it very well. It also, this tense also helps you to repeat the things in a very nice way. Suppose you watch some videos and you want to repeat the whole video in your own way, that you can do by adopting this tense. This tense really helps you to narrate the whole situation interestingly, in a very lively way, in a very beautiful way. So what you need to do, guys, that I'm going to write the construction of this tense, on the board. So what you do, I'm telling you frankly, I'm telling you how you are going to get the hang of this tense. Take one tense one time. I'm not telling you to learn all the tenses all together. Take one tense at a time, okay? And when I'm writing the construction, you need to memorize the construction, okay? Try to understand what I'm telling and then memorize it. And write at least 10 sentences in a day. For 7 days, you are going to practice only simple present, learn the construction, and write as many as you can do, as many sentences as you can write. 30, 40 sentences you are going to write. Not more than 10 in a day, because it's going to be monotonous for you then. So that's why write sentences, try to understand how it works. So let's see that how we can do it on the board. First you try to understand the construction, and then we will I'm going to write on the board. I'm quite sure that board is clearly visible. Okay, let's see the construction of simple present or present indefinite. Okay, for affirmative sentences, if we talk about affirmative sentences, as you know guys, there are 3 kinds of sentences: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Okay, so we are talking about simple present tense. How we are going to know the structure of simple present tense in 3 ways: for affirmative sentences, for negative sentences, and for interrogative. Okay, so first, affirmative sentences. So what we are going to do, how we are going to use this sentence: I, we, you, they, all plural noun. Okay, so I'm talking about these are, you know, pronoun. I, we, you, they, and all plural nouns. We use base form of the verb. Yeah, I mean first form of the verb. Okay, so let's take an example. I and base form of the verb. Let's take a verb also. So if I say I go, we go, you go, they go, and all plural noun, boys go. Okay, so we are talking about the base form of the verb or first form of the verb. So with I, we use first form of the verb. Or let's take another example. I play, we play, you play, they play, all boys play. Okay, for affirmative sentences, I, we, you, they, and all, with all plural noun, we use first form of the verb or the base form of the verb for affirmative sentences. And then he, she, it, and with all singular noun, we add s and es to the base form. Okay, remember, with he, she, it, and with all singular noun, we add s and es to the base form. How it goes? I play, you play, we play, boys play, and then he plays, she plays, it plays, a boy plays. Okay, so what we are doing, that we are adding s to the verb. Okay, so now it has become singular. Now for negative sentences, the construction is, you know, for negative sentences, you know, remember, with I, we, you, they, and all plural noun, I, we, you, they, and with all plural noun, we use do not. I do not play, we do not play, you do not play, they do not play, girls do not play, or boys do not play. Okay, so this is for negative sentences, we use do not. For, and with he, she, it, and with all singular noun, we use does not. Okay, we use does not. She does not play. Now remember one thing, we are not in affirmative sentences, we were adding s to the verb, you know, main verb. But when we are changing into negative form, we are not adding s to the verb. Okay, so it will be like this: he does not play, she does not play, it does not play, a girl does not play, not plays. Okay, we are writing only play. So this is the construction on negative sentences. And for interrogative, interrogative means, you know, question, when you want to make some question, you know. So what we'll do, I, we, you, they, and with all plural, you are going to use do, then subject, and then base form of the verb. How does it happen? I, we, you, they, you are going to add first do, then subject, and then base form of the verb. Do they play? Do we play? Do I play? Understand? In this way. But when we want to make interrogative of he, she, it goes like this: he, she, it, and with all singular noun, does, subject, base form of the verb. Does she play? Does she play, not plays? Does she eat? Does she dance? Okay, so it goes like this. Okay, does he play cricket? So this was the construction. Now let me tell you again to make it easier for you to understand. So let's take one sentence. Okay, so I'm telling you how it works. So I'm taking I, we, you, they. So I'm taking they. Okay, so they make projects. They make project. Negative, they do not make project. Interrogative, do they make project? Okay, now we are talking about this you know, singular verb. So I'm taking she. She makes project. She does not make project. Does she make project? Okay, so it goes like this only, beta. Remember that for singular and for affirmative sentences, for negative sentences, for interrogative sentences, this construction will work. What you have to do that first to remember, try to learn these the whole construction, and after memorizing the whole stuff, after learning the whole stuff, you are going to repeat it again and again and again till it gets etched to your mind, till it becomes a part of your brain. Keep on doing, okay? Every day if you're writing sentences of present simple present using this structure, you are never going to fail, and it becomes very easy for you to come up with the things, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some sentences of present indefinite tense, okay, or simple present tense. You try to understand where I'm using the verb. With I, we, you, they, I'm using base form, and with he, she, it, I'm going to add s and es to the base form, okay? So understand, with I, we, you, they, and with all plural noun, I am going to use the base form, and with he, she, it, and with all singular noun, I am going to add s and es to the base form, okay? So I'm going to read it out, try to find out where I'm coming up with present indefinite tense sentences or verb. Tom wakes up early every morning. Try to find out the verb. Tom wakes up. So wakes up is here. Why did I add s to the verb? Because Tom is third person singular number 1. Singular number noun. Tom wakes up. I have added s to the verb. Tom wakes up early every morning. He stretches his arms. Again I have added es to the es to the verb. Stretch, stretches. He stretches his arms and yawns. He stretches his arms when he gets up early in the morning. He stretches his arms, and then what he does, he yawns. This is the yawning, He goes to the kitchen, adding es to the verb go. He goes to the kitchen and makes, again I'm adding s to the verb, makes a cup of coffee. He enjoys, try to understand where I am adding s and es to the verb, because our subject is singular. He enjoys the quiet moment of the morning before the city wakes up. Before the city wakes up. Again we are talking about city wakes up. After breakfast, he puts on his running shoes and goes for a walk. Goes for a walk, not go for a walk. If my subject were I, we, you, they, then we would have used go. But since the subject is singular, we are using goes for a walk. During his jog means jogging. During his jog, he greets the same. During his jog, he greet as we are adding s to the verb. He greets the same friendly faces. The old man walks his dog, and the teenagers. We are talking about plural noun now. Teenagers practice badminton. I'm not adding s to the verb. Practices, I'm not adding s. Since we are talking about the plural subject, so here teenagers, not teenager. Teenagers practice badminton. Tom feels rejuvenated by the fresh air of the morning. After his jog, he returns, not return. Since our verb is singular, he returns home and takes a shower. We adding as. He gets dressed and heads to work. HEADS, heads to work. He works as a graphic designer. He loves his job, love adding S, because it allows him to be a creative person. So this was, my, present indefinite tense. I wanted to make you understand present indefinite tense. By adopting this tense and understanding this tense, you can speak very good English, believe me, trust me. But one thing you have to do, first you learn once you understand how it works, you can very easily, talk about your present thing, your, daily routine, your opinion you can give, you can narrate some stories, you can talk about some daily habits, so it becomes very easy for you to understand. But for that, practice and practice till it becomes an essential part of your brain. Okay. So coming with another video next time. Thanks for watching my video.